everyone, it is Patty. Watch PattiMelt. Probably don't recognize me, huh? No makeup on today, just got out of the pool, but I have 4 videos that I want to get made, and I've promised a couple people who have surgery coming up with their plastics, and so I wanted to start and get these done. So forgive the look. I'm doing this to get this done, especially because I want to save face when I go to Nashville tomorrow. I'm going to see some of these people and I owe them videos. So we've got 4 people that I know of who are going to be having their plastic surgery in the immediate near future. And so that's Lauren Dayton and Lisa VSG English and Alicia Contreras, and then of course Amy gets a VSG. So I just wanted to come to everyone and share with you. This is going to be kind of an interesting and kind of a personal video from the perspective of things that were they were benefits to having my plastic surgery that I wasn't necessarily aware of that were going to happen. And there's some things about my body that changed and so forth. So I just wanted to share those things, excuse me. And also, there's some things that are a little bit of drawbacks, but there's way more benefits than there are drawbacks. So, and the drawbacks are actually temporary things that come along. So, but the benefits are, so far, they've stuck with me. So, I haven't seen videos before where people have shared some of these intimate details. So, probably if you're a male, you may not want to be watching this video. I'm just giving you a heads up now. Maybe you will, I don't know. But FYI. So I compiled a list of the things that are kind of the, I'm going to call them gifts with purchase on the plastic surgery that I was unaware of that would become benefits that would be helpful for me. So again, some are personal and some not so personal, but I compiled a list on my Evernote here, so I'm going to be referring to that. Okay, so some of the physical things that were beneficial to me post-plastics. Of course, just so you guys know, I had 10.5 pounds of excess skin and fat removed through my plastic surgery. I had the abdominoplasty with muscle repair. I had liposuction of my upper thighs. I also had a breast augmentation and breast lift. I have 500cc Mentor silicone implants. So just a little FYI. My starting weight, I'll give you that real quick too. I was 360 pounds at my highest. My goal was 180. On plastic surgery day, I think I was 169 or 170, and I'm currently maintaining at 165-ish. I go up and down between like 162 and 168, but right now I'm 165. I am 48 years old, and I had my plastic surgery on December 1st, 2015. So that was just 5 months ago, 5.5 months ago. So there you go. Those are kind of my stats in a nutshell. So the benefits, let me get to that. The physical, once my skin was removed, as from a perspective of exercise and so forth, I knew obviously that was going to be gone, but I never really noticed how much my skin kind of held me back, at least from a confidence perspective when I was exercising. Now, like when I'm swimming or I'm walking, because I have knee problems, I have to do low impact exercise. I feel a lot faster and a lot more assertive and aggressive in my movement. And it's funny because not only have I noticed it, my husband is 6'4", and so he's a really big stride in his walk, and before I couldn't keep up with him even with my weight loss. Now I can keep up with him, and he's amazed by my ability to walk faster. So that was one thing. Hair. Okay, well, we're going to talk about a couple things with hair. When I had my gastric bypass, I did suffer hair loss, and it's funny because I just saw some pictures from a year ago, which was from WLSFA last year, and definitely you can see all the hair growth coming back in, and my hair was really thin at that point. Over that year, my hair bulked back up. My hair on my head bulked back up. After my plastic surgery, I did have some hair loss again. Not a lot, just a little tiny bit, but just FYI, I did have some hair loss. So that's not a benefit, but it is what it is. Other areas of hair on your body. So once you have skin removed, especially in your pubic area, when they do the tummy tuck, anything below your surgical line, you'll still get your hair, excuse me. But let's say the treasure trail, maybe up to your belly button, that's no longer there. So you don't get any hair growth, regrowth there. Also, if you have any stragglers anywhere else, if you have a breast augmentation or whatever, again, the hair does not come back because that skin with the hair has been altered, removed, whatever the case may be. So far so good. Let's see, pubic area and urine streams. So another thing, very, very personal. One of the things that's kind of a gift with purchase was my pubic area is different now. When you put on all the weight, your pubic area tends to go lower, and when they do the pulling up with the tummy tuck, it basically puts it back up in position, and it also, in my case, makes it tighter. So it's not a bad thing. Nobody in my household's complaining about it, and it's a good thing. And something I didn't know that was going to happen. Completely surprising to me. It was uncomfortable initially, but I'm getting used to it. So all these things, it's like they're uncomfortable for a little bit, but you get to, it's just like everything else. You start getting used to the new you. So my urine stream is a little different as well. Of course, everything's lifted, so that's different. Feeling fullness on my arms. So now having breast implants, it was so weird initially to get used to the fact that I actually had breasts that were up here where they should be, and I was filling them with my arms. That was kind of interesting to get used to. I'm totally used to it now, but it was a change, and it's not a bad one, but it is different. Menstrual cycle changes. After having plastic surgery, with a couple things, I have gone back to having cramps as like I was 16, 17, and 18 years old. It's really interesting. Again, I'm 48. I still have a full cycle. I'm not premenopausal at this point. So I get cramps. I bloat. And the other thing is after plastic surgery, very, very sensitive to any type of sodium. I mean, it's interesting how you bloat up. So it's becoming less and less sensitive to sodium as time goes on, but those changes as far as my menstrual cycle go continue on to this day. So let's see, size changes. So a lot of people ask me, did you change clothing sizes? Yes, I did. I was a size 12 before having my plastic surgery. I'm now comfortably a size 8, 10, probably an 8. I can get into a 6 in some things. I can also wear 10s, you know, there's always that range. So probably an 8, size 8. So I went down two sizes. Belly button. So I've always had an innie, but it wasn't a deep innie before. Now my belly button is super deep. And again, this is kind of gross, but I'm going to go there. I mean, it's really deep to the point where before I used to be able to clean my belly button with soap and water in the shower or whatever, and I still do that, but it is so deep. When I get out of the shower, I need to dry it out with a Q-tip. I mean, literally 3/4 of a Q-tip will go into my belly button. It's kind of crazy. At one point, I was like, oh my gosh, is this thing going to stop, or is my belly button going to swallow the Q-tip? But it's important for a couple reasons for me to do that, and I who needs belly button cheese going on or anything like that, and I don't want to be gross, but just know that your belly button may become deep. It is very cute, it is very small, it's just very deep. So it has a little extra element of maintenance to it that I didn't have before. Let's see, numbness. So down mostly in the pubic region, and then of course up where I had my breast augmentation, they cut through nerves, and so those have a course of growing back. At this point, I can feel week by week getting more feeling back, but basically from my belly button down to my upper thighs, it was completely numb for a long time, and slowly I'm starting to get more feeling. Also too with my areola area, which was a highly sensitive area for me before. One remained very sensitive post-surgery. The other one did not. There was some sensitivity to it. It's becoming sensitive again. It's just a slow process. So Good things about having the numbness that you wouldn't think about is if you're a waxer or anything like that, waxing's a lot less painful because you're not dealing with, of course, the pain or anything because you're numb. As far as the sensitivity goes, the way it was explained to me is if you do have some sensitivity, it's kind of like a freeway with traffic. The traffic's really low right now, but as time goes on, more and more traffic's going to go through there. So as long as there's some sensitivity, it will all come back. And I can feel definitely the sensitivity coming back. Appetite changes post-surgery. I would just say during the recovery process, I really didn't have an appetite. I existed on basically protein shakes, soups, things like that. That was only for the first, probably 4 to 5 weeks. I did lose additional weight during that time, but it comes back. So just know that. And I also had I wanted salt, even though I knew I shouldn't have salt. Some of the mental changes too that I experienced, I was a little bit more emotional with this surgery, and I think my husband and some of my friends would also agree. I was a little more emotional during my recovery process post this surgery than I was ever with post gastric bypass. I don't know if it was because of all the fat and hormones being removed all at one time, but I definitely between weeks 2 and 3 had a big emotional crisis of a week. It is what it is. I'm over it now, but even post-surgery, my husband feels like, he's explained it to me, like, it's not that you're more emotional now. He's like, you're not more cranky now. You're just more, he's like, it's almost emotional, but you're more relaxed. So I have no idea what that means, but I'll try and get him to expand on that. I don't take things as personal as I used to, is what he said. So I don't know. So other changes are now being, post plastic surgery, and how this changes me mentally. It's really interesting how this has changed me. It has created change in me. From a confidence perspective, kind of, not that I think that I'm all great or anything, just I'm not fearful of things anymore. I think just once you get past losing weight like we have in this community and taking on the next thing, it's like now my big decision is what's the next thing I'm going to take on, because as we know, anything we put our mind to is possible. So I'm kind of at a little bit of a personal crisis right now, trying to figure out what I really want to give some additional focus and direction to. This is always going to be a focus for me to focus on, maintaining my health as far as exercise and eating right and keeping my weight where I have it now. But it's just a matter of what's next and what can I add to that. That's not going to offset this, because this is super important to me. So I know there's only so many things, at least I can take on at a time, because I need to be really focused to be successful at things. So anyways, I hope this was helpful. I know this is kind of random, but I figured, these are things that I didn't necessarily know about my plastic surgery and how it was going to impact me. And it doesn't mean it's going to be the same for other folks, but just know these are some of the things you might experience, and would love to hear what others experience as well, that they didn't expect. So I hope you guys are doing great. Can't wait to see everyone at WSFA. Have a great evening, and I will see many of you tomorrow. Bye, guys.